So on with my little story about how Shawn and Maryellen resurrected Resurrection. Uh, they came out. I showed them around. It was cold. I was bundled up. Two hats, one stacked on the other. I mean, I was a sick man, but I was being brave, and really I was thrilled that they were here, and they didn't seem to mind the cold. I'd said at one point, boy, to Maryellen, I said, city people are tough. I think they have to be tough. But anyway, we looked around, and then finally I said, I got to go back in. And they weren't inclined to leave, which was wonderful. So they came in, and we were right in here in this space. Maryellen sat right in that chair right there by the furnace. Of course, it's warm, and with this kind of a heating system, the colder it gets outside and windy, the warmer it is in here. And she was saying at one point, boy, if she had a spot like this, she'd never leave it. And we talked. And, it was nice, and I could warm up a bit. But, I know, I wanted to back up and say that being the, educated in the humanities like I was, I thought, before I even called them, I think it was, I thought to myself, there's a epic poem called the Song of Roland. I would always mention it to my students. There aren't very many epics. This is the French epic. And I don't know that much about it, but at the height of it, it deals with a guy named Roland and his army fighting against the Moors coming up from across Morocco, through Spain, through the Pyrenees, coming up into France. And the part that I remember, and the part that's most famous, is that Roland had the rear guard of the French army, and they were coming through a narrow valley in the Pyrenees. Roncevaux comes to mind. I don't know if that's it or not. But anyway, he was attacked, and he didn't blow his horn. He waited, and he waited too long. Finally, when it was clear that they were in big trouble, he got out his horn and blew his horn, Roland's horn. They heard it. The army in the front, they heard it, and they came back to help him, but it was too late. He'd waited too long. And so what's that have to do with my story? Well, I thought of myself a little bit like Roland. I finally blew my horn in emailing Shawn and Maryellen, as it turned out, and to let them know that I was in trouble. I actually needed help. And they came and helped. So anyway, we had a nice discussion. I found out about Shawn has a son, a grown son. Well, I don't know exactly how old, but he's studying film in Japan at the moment, and he's going to be coming back to stay with them in May, which I found very interesting. I had mentioned to Shawn and Maryellen at one point that maybe they could take my camera, what's on that music stand right there, take that and carry it along with them and film me as I fed the animals. Because if there were even that record of where is the feed, how much do I put in, and how do I get it to the animals, that would be of use. And they said, sure, they'd do that. And it was, we didn't, but we will when they come back, I think. But it was in that conversation that Shawn mentioned to me that he had his son. Well, after they left, and I had led them a long but the most scenic way I could out here, hoping that I would lure them to want to come again, because this truly was country. There's a shorter way to come here. Hopefully they went back the shorter way. And I've heard from them since. But afterward, how they resurrected resurrection, now that's, I haven't explained yet. But I would say I'm ready to. Next video.